All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me get this out. All right. Sweet. Got that out. Looks like we had a few people weighing in here. Should get a few more as we go. I should, before I full screen, which I probably should have done this prior to actually starting the stream. Let me log in to this. Let's go there. And we'll go there. All right, sweet. Sweet. All right, let's start sharing this. Should be good. All right. All right, so we do have a bit of a gap down day. Not the worst thing. Let me put you guys over here. That'll be fine. Actually, I'm gonna put you guys here and I'll put that there. That way I can see the chat easier. Looks like we got a few people in here. If you're in here, say what's up, say good morning. If it's your first time in here, let me know. Good there. Okay, I think we're good all around the board. Yeah, so quite the gap down this morning, especially on SPY and Qs. I don't know how this is going to look on individual stocks. We're going to gap down right into demand on Qs. Looks like we're below it on SPY. Miles, what's up, man? Cindy, good morning. Quaris, good morning. First time. Welcome in. Alex, good morning, man. How you doing? Yeah, so Qs, we're going to be at demand. It's a pretty interesting day to have it be your first time joining because we do have CPI this morning and we have FOMC later today. So it's going to be a pretty hectic day. But we'll see what we can do today. Luflix, good morning. How you doing? I'll throw Qs there. I just want to see if it holds that demand mainly. I also didn't look at the market at all yesterday. So I'm just seeing exactly what the market did for the first time. Amazon might not be bad for TLM, actually. I know it's kind of counter trend, but I don't mind it. Chris, good morning. How are you? How are you doing? PLTR. Do I like? And I don't think so. We have a little bit of supply there. We do have demand down here. Kind of doubt we hit that today. It's interesting. PLTR didn't really gap down at all. Chris says ready to go. It's good to hear. Gook had a nice little rip yesterday, a little $4 move. Gave most of it back, but decent rip for Gook. Nvidia dropped okay amount yesterday. Nothing crazy. Would I play TLM here is a question. Again, a little bit counter trend. Good thing is we don't really have, I mean, maybe a 45-minute supply there if you want to count it. I don't love that as a zone. So I actually wouldn't mind playing this, but I'll throw it on secondary. I'll keep an eye. Apple could be good. Alpha could be good for two reasons. We could either drop down to our demand here and look for a rejection, or this could just be a TLM play, which I would prefer. AMD, I don't like this for our zone today, so probably not. Hood drops down a little bit. We do have demand down here. Again, that'd be pretty counter trend, but I feel like every time I say that, Hood ends up bouncing off demand really well. So we'll throw it there. I just want to kind of keep an eye on it. Coin. I mean, we're going to open towards the bottom of demand. So I don't think there's going to be anything here I really like. There's a good 4-hour demand there. Not something I would really trade off of for day trading. We're also still pretty bearish. But you do have that if that's something you wanted to look at. Microsoft, again, TLM would be counter trend on this. Below 400 just seems so crazy once again. But if it does come up, we're going to gap down. We're going to create supply, which sucks. Yeah, I mean, there's a world that ends up being a decent play for TLM, but I doubt that. Meta's going to be too trendy. I don't really care about this demand just because Meta's been pretty bearish, but we'll mark it out. Looks like AVGO bounced off supply yesterday. Could have a decent move to the downside if we look a little more bearish. We do have a little bit of demand here. We'd have to watch that. But if we look bearish, that's something I would definitely lean towards. TSM, pretty trendy. Don't think I would really want to look at that. Yeah, I mean, it's not the trendiest thing in the world, but let's throw it on. We'll throw it on secondary as well. We'll keep an eye on it. Oracle, probably too trendy as well. TLM wise, not super into that. It's fine. MU, we're kind of still up. Can't believe SoFi hit 1650 yesterday. The report came out, dropped it a good amount. I recovered a decent amount of that. HIM's back up at almost 25. Could be a decent TLM play, depending on what it does. Matthew, good morning. How are you? Tesla, I know some people played Tesla TLM yesterday. I actually wouldn't mind it again today, to be honest. I think today's actually a better day than it was yesterday. So we'll throw that there. Walmart's way down. No demand. We're fine. Looks like Visa is going to have supply here. Draw down the 45. Again, if we start looking bearish, that might be something to look towards, similar to AVGO. Netflix, kind of the same thing. Basically the same supply right in the middle here. Could look for that. Uber, really good consolidation yesterday, just are not opening. We are not opening the right spot for TLM. Roblox pretty trendy. Close demand's down here. We don't really have a supply. Shop is going to gap down basically right into demand. Still pretty bearish though. Don't know if I would love that. We could just put this here, see if we get a reaction. Morning, John. Just posted a Netflix short. I will take a look. BA, probably nothing. Schwab's below demand. Okay. Let's see what John posted. Checking IWM, Apple, Meta, Nvidia, Shop Hood. IWM. I guess you're probably looking at this. Down like 246.50. Yeah, I just don't know if we'll get down there today. It's not bad. Apple have Meta. It seems similar to IWM. That demand's a little far. Nvidia have Shop. Yep. I didn't move Shop up, but Shop. Yep. And then Hood. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I think those are probably the best setups today. Best things to watch. I really do like Amazon TLM if this plays out this way. I think that could be probably my favorite trade of the day. Maybe Apple. I don't know. It's all really going to depend on, I think Q's is going to be a big factor here if we get a good reaction off of off this demand. If we can get that, I'll feel better about longs. But we have to get a good reaction there. MD Investor, good morning. Anyone looking at anything else that they want me to take a peek at? If you are going to put something in chat, like any ticker, please let me know what you're looking at exactly so I can look at the same thing. SoFi for what though? What are you looking at it for? It's definitely not a TLM play. Swings long. I mean, maybe. We kind of have like some sort of demand down in this area where we bounced, but I don't know. I'd be careful with it. I think it'll probably go up, but it's just about, are we going to drop a little lower before we move up? It kind of just hasn't really held any demands recently, and that makes me a little nervous. So be a little careful with it, but I do like, I think SoFi like at that $16-ish mark is such a good buy. I do. What else? That should be fine. Just hope Amazon doesn't rip right off the bat. Nvidia will open in a good spot for that play still. I did want to take a peek at what's going on over here. Quite the drop. This will be similar just to their stuff we're already looking at. Yeah, probably stay away from that stuff today. In all honesty, probably stay away. All right, get that up. That's fine. Jay, good morning, man. How are you? How are you doing? Should be good. Let's get that open. Sweet. Let me keep this on futures. I'll use this tab. not futures. Okay, Apple, if we can stay there, that's a much better spot to open. I would like that. Amazon, let's just hope that it doesn't open too high and rips. I'm liking Apple. Q's might open a little too high. We'll see if we hit that demand. Nvidia could be good as well. Yeah, I like Amazon, Apple, Q's are probably my favorite plays. Before news day get out, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be hunting a trade today, just because FOMC days are always just an absolute blunder, but we'll see how it works. We'll see how it works. And Q's realistically probably should hit this demand today. Hopefully just comes sooner rather than later. But as John said, we definitely want to keep a close eye on things and only trade sort of the best moves. Let me throw watch list out there real quick. Just throw my main watches. Morning watch list. How you doing? I'm doing good, Jay. Appreciate you asking, man. Doing good. All good, John. Oh, Apple's kind of dipping a little bit there. It's interesting because Q's actually went up. Interesting. Everything's kind of moving up a little bit pre-market these last couple minutes, outside of Apple that dropped. Q's starting to look like it's going to open closer to 602 than 601. But when we get the Netflix short. Yeah, I mean, we'd need a lot. That's the only problem here. We're still like, I think that's probably your best one. Yeah, so we're still, was that 50 cents off of that supply? And based on where we're supposed to open right now, we'd have to like, I mean, if we get nice structure moving up, we get something like that, that could definitely be in play. The thing I'm worried about though is doing this and then doing this, and then you're kind of in no man's land. That's my main worry with that. Amazon might open too high and Apple might open too low, which would be unfortunate for us today. Nvidia looks like it opened in a good spot though. So maybe we keep a closer eye on that. Let's throw Nvidia up there. Move Tesla down just because that open is not really where I wanted it to be. Doesn't mean it's off for good. Just means could have opened better. What the hell just happened at Apple? Huh. Wow. Okay. Did something like come out for Apple? Why'd that drop so much? Everything else pushed up. quite the move. Quite the move. That makes Amazon a lot tougher today. I guess we do have demand here. We did push up into supply though. Like, where does this line up? Just out of sheer curiosity. Right there. So I guess even if we don't pop out of TLM to the downside, we could bounce off demand. It's kind of our second option. Yeah, Apple fell off hard. Wow. Wow. Just a trend line I had from the far uptrend when we bounced. Interesting. Just kind of broke it though, so weird for me. Gold's also dropping like a rock. Weird. Oh yeah, wow. Huh. All right, well, market's open. Let's see where we go. Wow, Apple's doing some crazy stuff. We don't really have another demand anywhere. Still need NVIDIA to pop out. Qs did not hit demand. Hood I wouldn't love for TLM. So I'm talking about with AVGO. If we start to look bearish after we make this new high, and we start moving down, we could look for a play like that. Obviously, if we're bullish today, then that changes, but if we do look a little more bearish, that could be good. But let's see. Kind of seems like we're all over the place, honestly. NVIDIA's dropping. Don't think this is off anything. Now we have a 30-minute a little higher. I guess maybe if you wanted to say 1 hour there, but that feels like a bit of a stretch. We're dumb it down though. Other funny thing, how much did we try and trade options? Yeah. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. Just don't think I can short that. What does this look like? Yeah, definitely supply up there. Looks like probably avoid that. NVIDIA's really dumping. Jeez. Jeez. I don't love that reaction on shop anyways. Right, so those are reversing. PLTR, wow. Wow. What a rejection. Huh. Does make you wonder about a potential short on this. Broke those lows from yesterday. Might not be opposed to that. Yeah, Meta didn't hit demand. Huh. So now Amazon hits demand. Apple's reversing all the way back up after going all the way down to 251 almost. We're not off any demand there, so nothing we can really do. Hood, yeah, that demand's way down there. Moving up well though. There's a world you look TLM here, but that would be a tough trade, I think. AVGO breaks supply. Okay. So for that, we're probably do have another supply up there, but that's not going to really help us today. So we're probably done there. TSM. I think it's too trendy for TLM, so I'm going to pass. Okay, shop. That's a better reaction. I'm worried about potential supply in this area, but that's a much better reaction. Tesla pushing back down. Nothing of importance down there. Amazon, really good reaction off demand here. We would still need a lot though. And there goes Hood. Tesla TLM just close below the midline. Yeah, you could. The only thing I don't like about this is just you don't really have a great stop. That's the only. I mean, you could get one here if we did something like this and then hit there and then retrace. Could do that for sure. Because that's a good retrace now. We'll watch it. We will watch it. Amazon, I'm going to move down there. Apple, there's just nothing. Which I would love to have caught that rip. Didn't bounce off anything. I mean, NVIDIA did just barely tap that wick. Almost hit the body of that. That would also, I mean, the only way you'd really trade that is if we got up here and broke highs. That's quite a move you need anyways. Tesla does get that retrace. Now we just need to not rip. Scott, good morning, man. Not looking at a ton, in all honesty, Scott. I think Tesla's probably the main thing we're looking at for maybe a TLM short, but that's about it right now. Oracle TLM might be setting up. I think Oracle was pretty trendy yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. And I could definitely see why you'd look at it, because you have like, right, if this is your move, like that's kind of your move for the day. But if I take this over here, it's still a pretty clear trend to me. So I'd probably pass on that, along with the fact that we're still in what I would say is more of a bearish trend. I mean, maybe we're starting just now that bullish uptrend, but that feels a little off to me. But if you did, I mean, if you got something like this, and then you could come up, break that high, and then get in on some sort of retrace. If you played a little tighter, more conservative target, see if you can get in and get out real quick. Yeah, I just think that Tesla retrace is going to be too much. Still a possibility, but I think it will probably be too much. Let's just make sure I did not mess up on this, which I didn't. I mean, I guess we hit the 4-hour demand there. But again, not a great reaction. Not super into that. Could have played Amazon to the downside, I guess, if you really wanted to. Again, you're just kind of lacking a stop with this wick that went way up. That just wouldn't give you risk reward to the downside. Hood comes all the way back down. Pretty close to supply there. Yeah, like this could rotate. It's just about, like, even if you enter here, your stop has to go here. I mean, like, you could try to get a 1-to-1. You could. Problem is, I really wouldn't want to target past that, and that's not 1-to-1. Unless you entered, like, right on the line. Yeah. It might work. I'm just not in the business of 1-to-1 trades. Mr. Birdman. Good morning. Assume that's Joey. I would assume. Donovan, your charts are crazy, man. I gotta hand it to you. This would be like the least confident rotation I've seen, if this actually rotates. Shop does make me wonder. I don't like this. It's not the greatest supply in the world, but it's definitely there. I really just don't trust or like trading shop. It is. What's up, Joey? How are you? Watching TSM, not TSM, Tesla TLM shorts also. Yeah, it's probably over now, unfortunately, for that one. Just too much of a rip. Because like you'd probably want to like see a close here and then retrace. And even if you got in, let's say here, well, now that happens, but like even if you had gotten in there, you maybe could have got 1-to-1. But yeah, with that rip, that one is donezo. For shop, you took it just target recent high after retrace and holds. No, I mean, if I was gonna take this, I just play it up to supply, so I'd be fine playing it like up here, like 129-ish area, just up to one of these supplies. Even like your 45, 129.30 would be a little lower. I'd honestly be fine with that. I don't think I'm gonna take it, but that's probably what I'd be okay with. Quite the reversal for NVIDIA. Hood, I mean, Hood's gonna hit it. It's quite the play on Hood. Not something I would have ever taken, but that does look like that is going to be a rotation there. Amazon not doing a whole lot. Assume all these look pretty similar. They do. How far off are we? Yeah, let's see. We're miles off of that demand. Apple didn't even bounce off demand. The LTR is actually going up, so it looks like it did not care about that supply. If you took away this first candle of the day, this would have been a beautiful TLM trade. But unfortunately, you can't just take away candles. AMD looks like it's ripping. We're going to hit supply here shortly. AVGO continued up. Coins doing some weird stuff. Microsoft. I mean, technically off demand. I would consider that demand already hit, though. And if Tesla was off demand, this would actually be a pretty decent move for a demand bounce type of trade. Yeah, Oracle, I'd definitely wait for that break of that high before I'd look anything there. Hims had a nice little rotation. Here comes Netflix. Yeah, that move in the morning makes us 10 times harder of a trade. Roblox ripped. Yeah, I'm really just not seeing... I'm not seeing anything I like. And with Fed meeting today, I mean, it's always going to be tough. PayPal off demand seems nice. Do I have PayPal on here still? I do. Yeah, it's a good demand bounce. See the lower time frame. What's our structure look like? Yeah, I probably would have wanted to see this retrace a little earlier. I mean, it's a good break here. I mean, the start of your big move will be there as well. So you have a little extra room for a potential target. So yeah, if we pulled back on this, you can target up there. Actually be a pretty good trade. The worry with these is always that you get that gap down, and sometimes even if that gap technically isn't your supply, you might still get a reaction off it. So you definitely wouldn't want to see that. But yeah, I don't mind this actually. Kind of down for it. How's Costco looking? I haven't looked at Costco. Horrible. Horrible. Yeah, if PayPal pulls back, that could be good. I don't know. I've never day traded PayPal. What's their... They have good spreads or no? Can't imagine they do. Let's see. Oh God. If I got like 9 days out, they got worse. That's a crazy spread. 45.5 calls have a 0.25 bid and a 3.1 ask. That is crazy. Actually insane. Those might be the worst spreads I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, those are horrible. You can't even get like even your... I just don't know what's up with some of these contracts. Even like a little bit deeper in the money, they're still horrible. Yeah, I mean, I hope that doesn't work out because that is terrible. Those are some of the worst spreads I've ever seen. Those might be the worst, actually. Q's moving up. I mean, we are moving into TLM range. We do have that supply from the gap, which makes me a little nervous. But because we will have supply that looks like this. So that worries me a bit. But if we could get something that look like this, right? Like if we get that move, oh, that'd be perfect. Go ahead, take that trade. I will pass, man. I appreciate the motivation though. Have people in trade that? Dude, I can't imagine many people do. I mean, are there like... I mean, once you get like further out in terms of expiration, they get a little more normal, but they're still just so wide. I mean, you'd have to buy like even these are a little weird. I mean, for it to be anywhere near normal, you'd have to buy at least like a month out, and they start getting somewhat normal, but they're still a little weird. So Yeah, I have no idea how people trade that. Just give them money. Yeah, that's basically what you're doing. Does anyone know what causes a spike in PPI? I don't off the top of my head. I didn't really look at the news this morning, but I'm sure someone in chat can explain it. Or the best thing I do with news, honestly, and it's gonna sound stupid, just look it up. People put out articles about it every day. So there's someone out there that probably already explained it. Can we explain supply related to the gap? Yeah, I mean, any time that we gap down or gap up, we're going to create a supply or demand zone. So like on Qs, we gap down today. That's going to create supply at the close for yesterday. Right? I always tell people if you're looking at like gaps, it's like we opened all the way down here today. Let me go down to like the 1 minute, right? Just imagine your overnight price action is just one big candle here, right? That's how we get down there. So if you look at it like that, that's where you'll start to see those gap reactions. Seems really choppy. It does. It does seem pretty choppy. Probably. Oh, yeah. I mean, who knows, man. Price action reminds me why I avoid trading Fed days. Yeah, this is what you expect on Fed days. You don't expect huge moves. It's typically pretty choppy. Do you watch regular trading or extended? I always watch regular. I don't use extended trading hours for anything. Unless I'm trading futures, which is a pretty rare thing. But yeah, for options trading, I don't use extended hours for anything. I don't know if Gabe's in here, but Gabe uses, I know, like pre-market stuff for some of his trading, but always, yeah. Yep. Extended trading hours are like one of those things where, for me, like it definitely can be a good tool if you use it right, but I've had success trading without it. And if something's working in the market, there's no need to change it, because most things that people do with trading options, it doesn't work. So if you have something that works, you don't need to overcomplicate it. But yeah, I couldn't tell you last time I had extended trading hours on my charts. I just never look at it. Shop still has not pulled back. Yeah, we are chopping it up right now. Goose giving back a lot of what it gained. Yeah, I mean, just look at these movements this morning. I mean, that is just chop, chop, chop. TSM drops off. I just feel like that's a little too trendy. As much as I would love to short that for TLM play, it just does feel too trendy for me. That's a really good break to the downside, though. And you have a good structure up here. I don't know. Let's see if this pulls back. I might actually look at this. I just might. I don't know how many of you have been seeing. I've seen a lot of people talk about that they think the market's at a perfect place to drop and pull back. And everyone's saying the Fed meeting is going to be the catalyst today. So I'm very curious what this meeting holds for us. Technically speaking, we'd probably still have to use this high as our stop. Could use this. It's a little riskier. Probably use that anyways, to be honest. Where does that put us? Basically there. Then we could play like down there maybe. I don't hate it. Do not hate it. If we pull back. That is not the right number. Oof, that's going to be a little tough with risk. Max line, especially seeing that from social media. Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying, man. That is what I'm saying. Spreads aren't horrible in TSM. Not great, but also doesn't look like we're going to pull back. Amazon TLM was a play. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where like you had demand there, so you're always a little bit worried. But yeah, I guess if you did something like this, right, and you didn't care about that demand, you target past it, like that was a really good trade. But I don't know where this puts you. Yeah, I mean, even a little lower, so entry like there. Yeah, I mean, it would have been a good trade. It's just you had demand here, which worried me. And also look at your break of that previous low. Like that huge wick is not something I want to see. So there's two things in this that would have pushed me away from trading it. So when I go back and look at that, I'm thinking I wouldn't have traded it anyways. So there's no reason to be upset about not catching it. That's how I look at it. But yeah, you take that stuff away, it was a good play. I mean, even with that stuff there, it was a good play, but just not something I would have taken. So I am perfectly fine missing that. Q is just probably not going to get up there today, at least in the time I needed to, which is fine. PLTR is moving up, finally. I feel like we haven't seen that in a while. MD had really good structure coming up. Curious to see if we hold that supply or if it breaks it. Hood pushing down off of, yep, right off supply, kind of as I was talking about. Just talked about this. Good reaction, good failure, making new high. Someone out there will take shorts on this, and I don't hate it. Someone will do that. Truly don't hate that. Big drop. I mean, you could even do something like this, in all honesty, if you really wanted to. Just play down there or something. That is interesting. I had to fill an order without canceling. Reach my profit line, still going up, but it's not closed. They probably set it up wrong. So if you just want to get out, like you don't care about spreads or anything, just put on a market order and it'll go. But you might have a setup where like you're trying to put an OCO with the the actual like underlying price, and then you have it as a limit order. So that's just not going to fill. So if you're setting it with the underlying price, like you have a profit target line based on the stock price, then you have to change it to market order. Or if you're trading something with really wide spreads, just don't do an OCO and just manually exit with the limit. How do you feel about coin demand bounce? It's just not a great break, realistically. That's my only downside to this. It's a good demand reaction. Just the break's not great. Nvidia's moving up. I would be curious to see what something like Hood does today. If that's going to keep going down or if it's going to reverse up. NVIDIA makes me wonder. It's one of those weird trades that I actually don't mind. TSM coming back. I still don't know if we're actually bearish enough, but where's that new retrace got us? Just a little lower. Times Pal speak today. It'll tell you right on TradingView on your calendar. Fed press conference. So 2:30. 2:30. What are we looking at here? See what TSM does, see if that reacts there. If you're looking at longs, NVIDIA on a retrace for TLM here actually might not be horrible, in all honesty. Hood hits that retrace. Let's see if that dumps down even more. TSM would love a dump. NVIDIA balance theory move. I'm already in NVIDIA for balance theory on longs. So I would say I like it because I'm in it. It does look like it'll continue down. Can't say I'm shocked by that. See if TSM can get a nice push here. Hopefully we don't just reverse back up and take that back. NVIDIA, we need a retrace back to like this area for me to be excited about that. Again, don't love playing two things going different ways, but if NVIDIA did pull back, I wouldn't mind it. I'll see if TSM can stay in here. TSM is risky just because, again, I think it's maybe a little too trendy. I think ultimately that's probably what is going to make TSM not work. So I'm very hesitant on this, in all honesty. I don't love the move in terms of yesterday's price action. And I wish I liked it more, but I just don't. Yeah, might end up working. Again, it's similar to like, I mean, I guess not too similar to Hood, but it's just there's something against it that I don't like. And on a day like today, where we have a big Fed meeting, I don't know if that's something I really want to trade. But again, for all I know, this could dump and I could look like an idiot for not taking it. But just how I look at it, it's not worth the risk. Although we are looking definitely a little more bearish on the indices. So if I was going to play one way, short would probably be the better way. Although NVIDIA doesn't seem to care about that, which is interesting. But yeah, might look like an idiot for not taking this, but I think I'll be fine. It's a good day to not trade. Yeah. You take TSM. I wish you luck. Again, just think it's a little too trendy for me, but it might work out. But yeah, I think we'll just call it no trade day, which I kind of figured would happen. Most of these Fed days are, for me at least, typically days I'm not trading. NVIDIA looks like it's just going to go, so no retrace there. But yeah, Fed days are tough. Hood dumped. Yeah, so this could have been good. You could have caught that, either like here for a little riskier play, did something like that. You could have caught it here on this retrace, right, and done something like that. So definitely could have shorted hood today. I'm just so hesitant on Fed days because we just get so much chop. And if you're looking for like a decent sized move, it just, a lot of times it drags out and it lags, and it's just not a fun trading experience at all. But yeah, if any of the plays today, I mean, hood was probably the best one. It's a little more continuation. You kind of lack a break of structure to the downside, but it was probably the cleanest move today if you were going to catch anything. I think NVIDIA would have been good, but we just didn't get that retrace we were looking for. And I think at this point, like, we really don't, even if we got a retrace, I don't think I'd really be into it. Because we'd be looking like back down 182.20, and then the highest we could really play would be about 183. It looks like we're just going to hit that anyway. So again, if TSM works out, maybe I'll look dumb for taking it, but this looks like too much of a trend for me. So I'm more than happy to pass on that. Yeah, I guess we'll go from there. So unfortunate no trade day. Fed day, you expect it, but no trade day today. Yeah, I do appreciate the people who did come out. And yeah, we will, for Freedom Team guys, I will see you Friday. I do know we had some first timers in here, so if you are first time, I'll put a link to a free training in the chat right now, so you can use that. And yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully the people who are in here that are in Freedom Team, if TSM works out, just don't yell at me for not taking it. But hopefully you understand the reasoning for today. But yeah, we will go from there. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys Friday. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. And do not trade later today. For the love of God, please do not trade. Fed meeting. Stay away. Appreciate you, Jay. Have a good day, guys.